evening, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo De Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and in tonight's game plan, we'll break down the first day of the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament with UAAP analyst Maddie Madayag.
Then we'll catch up with Tyler Tio and Rafi Verano of the Ateneo Blue Eagles as they look ahead to defending their crown in the Season 84 Men's Basketball Finals. And we'll do an alternate version of Diego Dario's signature segment on the show. It's reverse thesis defense time. I don't know what that means, but it's for the NBA Conference Semifinals. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game.
The UAAP Season 84 Women's Women's Volleyball Tournament has definitely become fully alive in its first serving yesterday. Now, as we witnessed exciting first matches, it's time to break down day one of our favorite UAAP squads with UAAP champion, now broadcast analyst, Madzilla Maddie Madayag. Maddie, welcome back to the game. Okay,
All right, Maddie, sorry, nakabute ka yata.
Sorry.
There you go.
Hi, Boom and Paolo.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Buti na lang.
Oo nga
When she's an analyst, wala na mute button.
Wala na mute
yan.
yun, diretso na yun.
Diretso
Oo.
na. Okay, Maddie, well, first of all, how does it feel? We can't wait to hear your thoughts when you start doing the games, and I personally cannot wait to pick your brain. So how does that feel being on the other side now?
First of all, I am very grateful to be part of the family, but also this is something that's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Since I don't like talking in front of a lot of people, but I'm definitely excited and very much happy to embrace this new role and challenge for me.
Ano, Maddie,
Also, a great feeling that I get to be a part of the UAAP community pa rin.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Maddie, we're all excited to hear from you. And of course, we're also excited to see yung growth mo as an analyst from day one to the very end. And let's mag-practice tayo ngayon.
Hey.
Let's talk about
Game.
a few of the games that happened in day number one. Let's start off first with UST versus FEU. We're getting to know everyone in the volleyball tournament. What were your thoughts from what you saw in that game?
Well, UST has veterans like Ea Laure, Isa Jimenez, Mafe Galanza, who've had finals experience, which they can bring to the tournament. And not to mention, they have players like Maji Mangulabnan, Aimee Hernandez, and Camille Victoria, who played a very confident first game. But speaking of Aimee Hernandez, let's hope and pray that she'll recover fast, so we get to see more of her this season.
Pagdasal natin si Aimee at pagdasal na rin natin, Maddie, lahat na maglalaro starting tomorrow onwards na wala nang injury going forward.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that second game. The hype is real for National University versus Adamson. What are your thoughts, Maddie?
Well, I'd say their first game is very dominating, coming from their attacks alone, and you had 42 attacks out of 90 attempts compared to Adamson's 28 attacks out of 89 attempts. Their wing hitters, Belen and Solomon, had 14 and 15 points respectively. Not to mention their newly appointed captain, yung kakabalik lang si Princess Robles, parang hindi siya nawala.
Exactly.
Yeah. And of course, we have to look for silver linings for Adamson also kasi the question is, how can they win their first game? Ano yung mga notes mo for them?
Well, in terms of reception and floor defense, alam naman nating lahat na dun sila kilala.
Yeah.
But I think they should also focus on their execution sa plays nila. Kasi sa statistics nila yesterday, isa lang yung middle blocker lang nila yung highest scorer nila, which was only 8 points. So their wing spikers have to be more aggressive and volatile in their attacks. Hopefully in the next games, mas makaka-execute pa sila.
Feeling ko marami nagsasabi, Pao, parang dark horse nga yan na dyan sa Final Four. So Adamson, babantayan natin yan. First game pa lamang naman eh. But of course, something that you and Maddie are very familiar with, that
Are we?
that Ateneo-Lasal rivalry and that matchup. I want to find out, how impressed were you with Lasal? Maganda yung simula na Ateneo, obviously, and then tatlong sunod-sunod na set naman yung Lasal. How impressed were you, Maddie?
Grabe, they're really living up to their name na Taft Towers. They're so tall.
Grabe. Grabe.
Mga wing spikers nila, 6-footers, and kahit sino pang huhugutin ni Coach Ramil, you can expect that they will deliver. Lalo na si Soreño, she entered the second set, which I believe was the lady spikers' spark to get the second set of yesterday's match.
Well, you know, we talked about yung strong start ng Ateneo, and obviously sustaining that will be important for them. But how can they bounce back from a game like this one?
I think they should focus on the mid-game adjustments. Kasi nag-adjust na yung Lasal. So, kulang na lang sila. Nababantayan na sila. So, they should also acknowledge na mabilis mag-adjust yung kalaban. So, they should also do the same.
Tumawag daw sila sa'yo eh. Natanong kung pwede ka raw maglaro, Maddie. But anyway, let's move on. The last game of the night, which was also very exciting in front of the UP and UE crowd who watched that match. UP with a big win. New era for both. UE has a new coach, of course.
Yes.
UP with a bunch of new players. Some of them, of course, nawala na yung mga matitinding pangalan na UP. What did you see in that match, Maddie?
I like how good the Fighting Maroons are playing together. But I would also like to include Bertolano, who's really embracing the role. Parang reliable scorer na rin siya eh. And you know what I see Tots Carlos sa kanya eh. Parang yung approach niya and the way she plays. I mean, she's really promising.
You know what else is really promising, Boom? The fact that we can hear more of
Yes.
Maddie in the UAP Women's Volleyball Competition very, very soon. Maddie, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, and we can't wait to hear you on the air.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's Maddie Madeag. In the meantime, after the break, Ateneo Blue Eagles, Tyler Teo and Rafi Verano join us as they prep for the UAP Season 84 Men's Basketball Finals. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back. You're watching The Game. Game 2 of the UAAP Season 84 Final Four matchup between UP and the De La Salle Green Archers is currently ongoing. It's at the halftime break right now. La Salle up 44-39 with a 5-point lead at the half. Now, on that note, joining us tonight are a pair of UAP champions who are waiting to defend the crown in the finals. They're also watching that game. But here, welcome to The Game, Tyler Tio and Rafi Verano of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Gentlemen, thank you very much for pausing first and then joining us here on the show.
Are they in a bubble or in a cave? Parang dilim eh.
Oh nga eh. I don't know.
Are you hiding somewhere, guys?
I don't know. I don't know where Rafi is right now. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, I'm a little dark over here. I don't know why we got different
I
lighting.
doubt you're in a different bubble.
No, I agree.
Just kidding.
All right, but first, before anything else here, the whole UAP world is looking at UP versus La Salle. Tyler, I want your thoughts on that matchup after seeing their first Final Four game and seeing how this one's playing out so far.
I mean, it's a crazy matchup, man. I mean, obviously we're their opponents, so you can't really, get too excited. But as a fan of the game, just a pure fan of the game, this is beautiful basketball to watch. I mean, it's in its purest form. Both teams really want to win, and you can see it by the way they're playing. It's super exciting to watch.
I love the safe answer, Ty.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pero gusto niya mag-triple overtime daw sila. Oo.
Okay, Rafi, I want to ask you about, let's talk about the last game muna. The matchup against FEU. And I'm wondering, would your preparation was it been different if, let's say, you're coming off a win as opposed to whether you were coming off a loss, which is what happened in that matchup in the Final Four. You were coming off the loss from UP. Would it have been different knowing that you haven't lost this whole year?
No, I don't think we would have prepared any differently. I mean, we come out the same, mentally prepared and, ready to face anything. But I think that loss on Sunday, really woke us up and, fired us even more. So I think now I can say that, that loss on Sunday really motivated us more. And you can tell now in practice that everyone was fired up, laser focused, and just wanting to bounce back from that loss. And I think that's what we did. So.
Yeah, Tyler, obviously bouncing back is something that this team did not have to do for a very long time. How did you find it within yourselves to be able to do just that and execute as if, that's added fuel to the fire instead of something that really set you back?
Well, we just took it as what it was. We put things in perspective, and the coaches did a great job doing that. I mean, it's one loss at the end of the day, and we still had a chance to get back in the finals by beating FEU, and we looked at it that way. We didn't want to feel sorry for ourselves because it was just one loss. It would have been nice to get the sweep, but at the end of the day, the goal is the championship, not the sweep.
Yeah, one loss, 39 games, 39 winning streak, one loss. No big deal.
Yeah. Last time they lost, I was almost fresh out of college. So
Okay, all right, Rafi. I want to find out if you can play analyst real quick for us. What if, let's say, because we're right now at halftime, right? 44-39 is the score as we speak. At halftime, La Salle is ahead. Let's say La Salle pulls this one out and wins. What makes them dangerous? Let's start with La Salle.
I mean, I think La Salle is just a dangerous team in general. I mean, you have Balti and the Phillip brothers. I mean, they're a great rebounding duo, I mean, they had one game where they had how many offensive rebounds? I think together, 20-something or something like that, I believe. So that's one thing on the front lines. I mean, that's real dangerous. I mean, offensive rebounding and rebounding in general is a big key to winning any game. Defensive stops on the defensive rebounds. And their point guard, Ivan's been playing very well. I mean, you could see from the last game, he really wanted it that game, and he showed up. So I think once they get their momentum going, they just start playing really well together. They start gelling together, and that's what's super dangerous about them.
Well, Tyler, we all know that UP feel that, since they have done it, that they can take on Ateneo again. But so what makes them dangerous from your perspective?
Well, for me, it's obviously their offensive firepower and their talent. I mean, they can explode at any given moment during the game. And when that happens, they're a very dangerous team because of, like I mentioned, they have guys that are super talented, like Carl Tamayo, he's a super rookie. They got Richie, obviously. And then Kagulangan has been playing really well this season. And yeah, I think it's tough once they find their rhythm it's tough to stop them offensively.
But they got tea time.
Yeah.
Tea time, Ty. We got tea time, right? You know it. You know it. All right, Rafi, I want to ask a personal question. I mean, it's a tremendous comeback for you.
Yeah.
Tell us how you feel about this season, and tell us how it feels to be back in the UAP and just performing at this level for you personally.
I mean, it's just a great feeling. You know, the first game we came back, or the first couple games in the first round, it kind of felt a little, not to my expectation because there was no crowd. But then once the crowd started coming in, you hear them, and then the drums started coming. It felt like it was a natural feeling. It just felt amazing to be back on the court, playing for the Ateneo. Seeing everyone there support us, and yeah, I mean, it's just great to be on the court back with my brothers and coaches there and everything.
Just to piggyback off that thought, Ty, because we haven't had, really, you guys haven't had this type of basketball for so long. It feels like we've been missing out so much. How does it feel that you're now in the finals and there will be a crowd there, and the other side will also have a crowd there, as angry as they are at you? How does it feel having that atmosphere again, and of course after 2 years of absence from that?
It feels great. I mean, that's what we were praying for during the entire pandemic, basically. I mean, we just wanted basketball to come back. We wanted UAP basketball to be back, and we wanted things to be back to normal. And now that we have some semblance of that, it's a great feeling. I mean, we're back just playing the game we love at the highest level, at least collegiately.
Tyler, Rafi, we really appreciate you being here. And as a Lasallian, I fear both of you. So thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you
Good
so
luck.
much
Stay
for
healthy.
having us.
Stay healthy,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you for having us.
See you guys.
All right, now for everyone out there, don't forget to catch Game 1 of the UAAP Season 84 Men's Basketball Finals on May 8th at the SM Mall of Asia Arena. Now, when we return, we'll do an alternate version of Diego Dario's signature segment on our show. It's reverse thesis defense time for the NBA Conference Semifinals. Keep it here. You're watching The Game. hoop fans rejoice as NBA Philippines, in partnership with Titanomachy, opens the NBA store at the second floor of the Mega Fashion Hall. The new retail space carries jerseys, caps, shoes, and collectibles of all 30 teams in the association. Now, apart from copying your favorite team's merch, the NBA store is designed to give fans an experience to remember. What makes it special, and what would the Philippine fans really come here and leave with great memories with?
Us in the NBA, our objective is to bring the NBA closer to our fans. No? So this space we have here, this is the best NBA retail experience you can ever imagine, especially here in Manila. We have all the 30 teams available, from jerseys, caps, shirts, balls, whatever you need from the NBA. Brands like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, even Panini if you are into collecting cards. So it's your one-stop shop for any NBA fan.
And how important was it for NBA Philippines to actually have the retail store back here?
It's big. We've launched our first NBAstore.com.ph with Titan in 2020. In the past 2 years, we've been planning in terms of opening a brick and mortar space. The challenge is really, of course, during the pandemic, there's a lot of challenges that we have to encounter, we have to overcome. I think the biggest part of this retail space is having the physical and having to experience it yourself. Having the ambience of an NBA experience, just all NBA. Like what I was saying, there's the NBA photo booth, there's the podium that you mentioned, and this is something that you can't find anywhere.
Meantime, NBA.com Philippines All-Star writer Diego Dario returns for an alternate version of his signature segment on the game. We'll find out what that means.
Yeah.
Tonight, we do a reverse thesis defense about the NBA Conference semifinals, which is heating up or cooling down for some teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
So
we need to know the mechanics first of this so that we understand the reverse thesis, because you do this a lot with all-star writer Diego Dario.
All-Star
Love it, I love it.
Oh, pero okay, so we're gonna bring up the mechanics here right
mechanics
now.
muna tayo para
So,
malaman natin.
from what I understand, Jakes, is that we're going to give you a take, and then you're gonna grade that take. Ito yung mga
I like
mechanics
it.
natin, okay? This is the UP grading system. I am not familiar with this at all. Pero
I think it's reversed for
yeah,
yours
it's reversed
too,
for
right?
mine, yeah.
Right.
So 5 is fail, 3 is pass, 1 is perfect.
All
Okay,
right, I
so
love
that's
it.
how it is.
So I would usually say the statements and all the
Yeah.
hot takes, and you guys would
Kami
grade
ngayon.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
Kami
okay.
naman ngayon.
So you know this came
This
from
is
our
gonna be
writers.
fun.
You know
This is gonna be fun.
these takes came from our writers then.
Right.
All right, sige. Let's start off with this one, Boom. I'll start off with this. So,
start with the point guard.
point guard.
Point guard.
The point guard.
The point guard. 1, 3, o 5. Is Chris Paul in takeover mode for the Suns?
Hey, it's perfect timing that Boom's here, because Boom would definitely agree that that's an uno take right there. Chris Paul is averaging 22 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 10 assists. Every time it's the fourth quarter, it's CP3 time. And that closeout game against Boom's Pelicans, he did not miss. He scored 14 out of, I think, half of his total points in that fourth. And in their last game against Dallas, fourth quarter, he scored 14 out of the 28. So Chris Paul, it's really his time when it comes to that fourth quarter, and all the mid-range Jays, it's going in.
The Pelicans catching strays, Jakes.
Yeah.
They didn't deserve that.
Side note, the fact that he remembers the Pelicans, cannot remember Dallas, means we gave them a better fight.
I like that.
That's
I
what
like
it is.
that. Okay.
Next one. 1, 3, or 5.
Small wins.
Pagbigyan nyo na kami. 1, 3, or 5. Are the Warriors now the title favorites?
Ooh, this is gonna be this is tough. I might give this a 5 just because I don't think the Warriors are playing at their highest level right now. Especially Klay, he's not really shooting the ball very well in this series against Memphis. But the question for this Warriors team, yes, they can play offense. You can see the averages of Steph, Poole, and Klay Thompson there. But can they defend the stars? They proved that in the Denver series. They can defend Jokic, but can they defend Ja Morant? First game, he played well. Second game, he got the win for Memphis. So it's a tied series for Warriors and Memphis.
I
want to see a Game 7. I want to see a Game 7.
Are they even gonna get past the Memphis Grizzlies?
I know.
Right, that's the
That's
question.
the question.
All right.
That's another question na dapat i-grade.
Diba? Oo. So, 1, 3, or 5. Luka Doncic's defense is a big problem for the Mavs.
You know what? I might give Luka a 3 here. Not
Really?
a 5 or
Okay.
not even an
Okay.
1. Just because, you know, his usage rate, he plays most of their offensive possessions. He plays through it. The ball is mostly with him all the time. So I would give him the pass when it comes to trying to defend the other guards. And also, he's been playing great first halves. Pero pagdating dun sa second half, medyo parang I'm not sure if napapagod si Luka or nache-check siya ng Phoenix
siya lang
Suns.
kasi.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be up to his teammates to try to help out Luka Doncic for them to get wins against, you know, the Phoenix Suns. They're the #1 team for a reason.
See, you know, Phoenix doesn't look uncomfortable against
Yeah.
Dallas
Yeah.
so far, di ba? But they look uncomfortable against the Pelicans. I just have to say that.
I knew Boom was gonna come up with that.
They did though. They did.
Wala akong masabi
They did,
kasi the Mavs defeated my Jazz eh. So wala akong masabi. Oo.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
sorry.
no,
Okay,
no,
one
it's
more.
okay.
Sa East naman tayo.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
East, okay. Are the Celtics massively underrated?
Uno, I would give this an Uno. I definitely agree. I mean,
you think so, really?
I did not expect the Celtics, you know, the way they started the season to be, you know, title contenders. But, you know, after that All-Star break, they've played well.
Yeah.
All the way here into the playoffs. Defense wins championships, and I think Boston has the chance to do that, especially they're well coached with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown getting buckets as well
So,
against the Bucks.
You just said that they have the chance to win the championship.
Yeah.
You feel that this is a title contender right now. Oh, okay. I don't know.
Sino manalo bukas? Iba na to. Ibang
I
tanong yan.
might go for Boston just because Chris Middleton is sure out for
Out
2
na yan,
games.
for-
Out for 2
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
They
for-
won the first one without him.
Yeah, exactly.
They won the first one
And
without-
Marcus Smart is coming back in games.
Right.
Yeah.
And Giannis hasn't even played
Great yet.
Exactly.
And they already split, right?
Man, I think we need to revisit your grades here at the end of the season kasi grabe talaga. It's gonna be really interesting. But
Teka, meron akong extra question.
yeah,
Since we
okay.
have time, does Philly still have a chance here? Hindi na to uno, pero does Philly still have a chance here?
I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Philly. I don't think they have a chance just because
Embiid's out for 3, right?
Yeah,
Game
Embiid's
3.
out for 3. I don't think it's smart for Philly to risk Embiid him playing, and Miami's playing so well. Their depth is surprisingly still very effective here in the playoffs.
yeah, and you know that doesn't necessarily always happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Thank you, Diego,
thank you.
as always, for always being game answering our questions tonight. All right, thank you for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.